One of the smartest tricks any system can ever pull is getting people to confuse familiarity with truth. If you're born inside something, you rarely question it. You absorb it, you adapt to it, you build your identity around surviving it, and eventually you defend it. That's what's happening now. People think the structure around them is reality itself. Work until you're tired, pay until you're broke, stress until you're numb, scroll until you're distracted, repeat until you die. Apparently, that's just life now. Convenient, because when something is called life, it stops looking like design. And design is exactly what they don't want you noticing. Imagine being born into a zoo. Your parents were there, their parents were there, everyone you've ever known was there. You've never seen outside it. So when someone says, "This is captivity," what do? You laugh. Because from your point of view, captivity is just existence. That's modern conditioning in a sentence. People do not compare their lives to freedom. They compare them to what everyone else is doing. That's a huge difference. If everyone around you is anxious, stressed, overworked, financially squeezed, digitally monitored, and emotionally drained, that starts to feel ordinary. Not healthy, not good, just ordinary. And ordinary is dangerous because ordinary doesn't get examined. The system relies on that. It relies on your mistaking repetition for legitimacy. If something happens every day, you start assuming it must make sense. If everyone tolerates it, you assume it must be necessary. If every institution reinforces it, you assume it must be reality. But repetition doesn't prove truth. It only proves successful conditioning. People are constantly told they're free, and yet almost every major part of life is arranged for them in advance. Education shapes the mind early. Culture shapes desire. Advertising shapes aspiration. Media shapes fear. Institutions shape behavior. Economic pressure shapes choice. Then people say, "I'm living my own life." Are you? Or are you performing a role inside a structure so old and so normalized that you can no longer see where it ends and you begin? That's the real question. Because the system doesn't just want your labor, it wants your imagination. It wants to decide what feels possible before you ever think independently. It wants you to believe there is no real alternative, that all roads lead back to the same pattern: work, pay, obey, consume, repeat. And if you ever question that script, someone will immediately appear to explain that you need to be practical. Practical, another beautiful word, usually meaning, please continue cooperating with the arrangement. People are so deeply trained to accept the structure that they even shame themselves for wanting more. More time, more peace, more autonomy, more meaning. They call that unrealistic, as if wanting your life to actually belong to you is somehow a childish fantasy. No. What's unrealistic is expecting human beings to spend their entire existence in managed exhaustion and still believe that's freedom. That's unrealistic, but because everyone inherited the same script, almost nobody says it out loud. That's why the zoo stays invisible, not because it's hidden perfectly, because people were born inside it. And when you're born inside an enclosure, the enclosure feels like the world. That's what you're really up against, not just institutions, not just systems. Inherited normality, the dead weight of things everyone accepts without re-examining, that's the strongest wall of all. A wall built from phrases like, "That's just life," "That's just responsibility," "That's the real world." No, that's just a specific arrangement people got used to. And once you see it that way, it loses some of its magic. It stops feeling inevitable. It starts looking engineered, and engineered things can be questioned. That's what makes awareness so disruptive. Because once you realize you were born inside the script, you stop assuming the script is sacred. You begin to ask better questions. Who benefits from this arrangement? Why is exhaustion so normal? Why is dependence treated as adulthood? Why is constant management called freedom? Those questions crack the illusion, and illusions hate scrutiny. That's why the first step is not escape, it's honesty. Admitting that maybe the reason life feels so strangely artificial is because a lot of it is. You were born inside the zoo. Fine, that part wasn't your choice. But whether you keep calling it freedom after you see it clearly, that part is.